I want to start this video by going quick over my previous lunar eclipse video and how, unfortunately, I was right about all the flawed and dangerous events. I did my prediction based on scrupulous analysis of past century eclipses in close degrees to what was happening. And it works. Astrology simply works. And it is tool, and definitely if one think and care about future, they should have a peek of what's coming. It is Irina K and my channel Astrobabushka, Vedic Astrology in Modern Times. Let's go. First and foremost, trying to predict the future, we need to analyze the past. My goal was to find identical lunar eclipse degree-wise. In September 2006, lunar eclipse was in same degree, tropical 14-degree Pisces and sidereal 21-degree Aquarius. The only difference, it was visible partially back then, and now it will be visible fully. The epicenter will be central part of Russia, India, China, mostly all Europe. Which most important historical worldwide events happened after September 2006 within 6 months? I will put the list of them in the comment section, but the overview is that eclipse correlated with power shifts, regime collapse, nuclear danger, assassinations, and new technological cycles. All themes of Aquarian sidereal. In tone, collective upheavals, networks, revolutions, mass movements. Thematic patterns after the eclipse was number 1, collapse and regime shifts. It was coups in Thailand, assassinations in Lebanon, Litvinenko, executions, Saddam Hussein. Number 2, nuclear threshold events. North Korea's first nuclear test, Iran escalation. Number 3, East-West frictions. Russia versus UK, US versus Middle East, NATO expansion, European Union enlargement. Number 4, technological revolution, birth of the iPhone, major symbolic new era in communications. Number 5, financial foreshadowing, early rumblings of 2008 crisis started showing. What about September 1960? It was partial lunar eclipse, same degree, was visible in Asia, China, both in 1960 eclipse and the 2006 eclipse. At this same degree were followed by shifts in global resource power. It was regime collapses, assassinations, and East-West confrontations. The major themes after the 1960 eclipse, number 1 was massive geopolitical realignment, African decolonization, OPEC, UN resolution on the colonies. Number 2, Cold War escalation. Cuba breaks with US, Congo becomes proxy battleground, USSR space race. Number 3, leadership shifts. JFK elected, Lumumba assassinated. Number 4, China. In China was eclipse visible and correlated with one of the darkest crises in Chinese history. Number 5, networks and collective power. Again, it's OPEC, oil bloc, UN resolutions, televised politics, new mass structures, and basically all this we can foresee in the nearest 6 months. Shifts in global resource power, again, regime collapses, assassinations, and East-West confrontations. Might be nuclear danger, new technological cycles, themes very Aquarian in tone, collective upheavals, networks, revolutions, mass movements. If past lunar eclipse was visible in Americas, and after carefully checking where eclipse was visible and where it was covered by clouds, I did right conclusion. You see, for me, it had detrimental importance as I was right in the path of the eclipse. And fortunately for us, eclipse was covered with clouds, and not fortunately for and South Carolina, as well other states, including sadly Texas. It wasn't covered with clouds. So this time it should be done same way before getting into any firm conclusions. We need to watch the skies and see if it's going to be visible. Which areas from Europe, Russia, Asia will be in the next 6 months news headlines? We can only examine and analyze after the eclipse itself. Where the sword of Archangel Michael will clash and purify. Just a couple words now about the star, Achernar. Achernar, one of the brightest blue stars in the heavens, skies, carries a rare and exalted symbolism. In ancient traditions, it is linked with Jupiter, the great benefic, and great malefic if it is afflicted, by the way. So star marks the end of the karmic river, the point where all debts are washed away and the soul is filled with new spiritual knowledge. It is a star of completion, both personal and ancestral, guiding toward transcendence and renewal. Known also as the Sword of Archangel, Achernar embodies the fire that burns away falsehood and impurity. Its influence bestows uncompromising honesty, dedication, and the courage to stand for truth. Historians and mystics alike connect Achernar with the cherub and the sword from paradise, symbols of divine guardianship. At its highest, the star brings success, prominence, and authority in matters of spirit, faith, and service. Its keynotes are prominence, transcendence, faith, and occult wisdom. To be touched by Achernar is to face trials that purify. Yet, those who walk through its fire emerge renewed, carrying a light that guides others. We can see that in the past, that sword worked not in so much of a poetic way. Iraq, Saddam Hussein sentenced to death. It is November 5, verdict announced in October trials. Next, assassination of Pierre Gimel, November 21, 2006. A Lebanese minister killed, escalated Lebanon's political instability. Polonium poisoning of Alexander Litvinenko, November 23, 2006, in London. It triggered crisis in UK-Russia relations. Ethiopia-Somalia war escalates in December 2006. Ethiopian troops enter Somalia, sparking regional conflict. Iraq war surge announced by Bush in January 10, 2007, escalation of US troop involvements. Doomsday clock moves to 5 minutes to midnight. It's in January 17, 2007. First time since Cold War citing nuclear and climate threats. And what about 1960s? September 1960, Congo crisis deepens. United Nations troops deployed. Patrice Lumumba, independence leader, ousted as PM in September. U2 fallout and Cold War tension. After May 1960 spy plane incident, US versus USSR relations still severely strained at United Nation General Assembly in September. Now, as we can see here, the importance to analyze Jupiter on the skies during this eclipse is the utmost importance because Jupiter is ruling the star. And Jupiter is afflicted by being in tight square Kendra Sambandha with Mars in same degree as Rahu and Ketu, 24 degree. The only natural benefic Jupiter is connected to during eclipse is Moon, but Moon is afflicted itself by being eclipsed. Mars turns Jupiter's wisdom into fanaticism or maybe holy war. Rahu amplifies greed, excess, dogma. Again, only benefic link Jupiter trine to the Moon. Moon is masses, public, but Moon is eclipsed with the star Achernar. The channel is sort of shadowed because the Moon is eclipsed. The people's emotional compass is distorted. Grace may be misused, misdirected. Also, Moon hemmed in not classic papakartari yoga between Saturn and Pisces and Pluto in Capricorn. So the Moon, masses and public, feels squeezed between authority, rules, and deep transformation. Also, there's a still active kite formation that I talked about a lot in my August videos. Uranus in Taurus plus Pluto in Capricorn and Neptune in Pisces, around 6 to 7 degrees. It's a rare, harmonious structure of outer planets. It's like a cosmic channel where something larger flows through or on humanity. Jupiter stands as judge, but the judge is under sort of filter, negative filter. Mars hammers with aggression, Rahu tempts with excess, Ketu erases with nihilism. The only support is the eclipsed Moon, a trembling witness. What is the verdict? Humanity's faith itself is on trial, and not like we already have enough in our astroplate. Uranus, planet of shock and revelation, stations. So it intensify everything that planet symbolizes. It becomes loud, disruptive, and unavoidable. Uranus means shocks, revolts, sudden revelations, radical innovation. He's the awakener. At station, Uranus acts like a cosmic lighting rod. Collective nervous system overloaded, breakthroughs and breakdowns erupt. People need a scapegoat, if I may say. The eclipse moon at 21 degree Aquarius with Achernar in Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra symbolizes karmic purging, truth revealing endings of cycles. It's happening under Uranus station retrograde, and those revelations are shocking, uncontrollable, and destabilizing to systems of power. What themes this adds? Number one, sudden exposures. Uranus plus eclipse, files drop, secrets leak, hidden truths forced into daylight. It fits perfectly with subpoenas, Clinton, Epstein investigations, and possible disclosure movements globally. Number two, mass protests and revolts, Uranus station, and its mean public unrest. It's always rebellion against restrictions. Saturn, by the way, having the moon, and Saturn means restrictions. Number three, technological financial shock. Uranus in Taurus, it's economy, banking, resources, what it can be. It's crypto markets, currencies, jolted. Number four, identity shifts for nations. For charts where Taurus rising angles are important, Uranus can bring identity quake. Like, for example, in India, it's transiting its ascendant now. Number five, spiritual lightening. Achernar eclipse plus Uranus means purification by storm. People jolted into new awareness, sometimes violently. The eclipse here is like a cosmic trial by water and fire. Humanity is either purified or drowned. The kite aspect pattern of outer planets shows a rare collective alignment of forces potential for a higher download or for manipulation by hidden powers. This makes it a likely trigger for exposing revelations like Epstein files, uprisings in multiple nations, financial, technological, black swan events. About possible revelations and trying to pinpoint it on one scapegoat, I have some other additional thought that I will clarify later. Now, I want to analyze this eclipse in the charts of China, Russia, and India, and this will be in the second part of the video.